to enhance security. The remarks were made during Museveni's campaign in Bukonzo, East County. They pledged to secure over 70% of the vote in his favor. Philip Aguta has it.
Kisinga Town Council grounds in Bukonzo, East County, Kasese District, hosted a multitude of NRM supporters as the NRM presidential candidate Yoweri Museveni delivered the 7-point manifesto. During the campaigns, Kasese district leaders praised the NRM for transforming the district through development and for creating Mountain Brigade of UPDF to keep security in the district.
Security. He has just ADF from Uganda and is now pursuing it in the DRC. He chased Nalu.
We thank him for giving us the Mountain Brigade. As of now, all the mountains here are very secure and the lowlands because of that brigade. If you look across Beni, Congo, people are always in running battles. But our businesses are very sound.
So the people have resolved to vote the president because of Nyabirongo Health Center Fund. The second one the president promised when he was here was the bridges on the rivers. And he has indeed fulfilled that. And
in the mountains, there are roads. We have security at the border. We have good relationship with the people of Congo.
The third one was pipe to water. Now that project is ongoing. It has already started.
Others commended him for wealth creation programs.
PDM has reached some homes and is continuing. The payment to the elderly, which has now been scaled down.
This time, we expect to get more than 70% in the Bukonzo East and Bukonzo West, because the president has been so good to us. He has so many programs.
And the other issue is the PDM. People are enjoying the 1 million.
I would also ask for a vote for President Museveni, particularly here in the Bukonzo East, where we are, for the roads, the bridges.
Museveni urged the Kasese to hold the peace as a din, as they remember how ADF disturbed them before.
Ugukubanza. Echo kubanza. Obuholo. Ugukubanza. Obuholo checho kubanza. You, the people of Kasese, are the best witnesses for peace, because you know what peace, you know what peace means. Munasi choboholo bukamanyisa ya, and you know what lack of peace means. Ke munachasi oboholo bwa mabula echechi kamanyisa ya. You have seen it here in Kasese. Kasese hano mwabe chelangira and the Rwenzori in general. No mwa Rwenzori yosi eritwalera hauma. And you also live near Congo. Kandi tulebalerano abe Congo. So you should be the lecturers for peace.
Museveni pledged more irrigation schemes for Kasese people to boost agricultural production.
Here in Kasese, we need to add irrigation. Kasese no tutolere tongerako irrigation ngo kutunabiasi, and in all other parts of the country. Nokumabende betweka ebirihangale no.
He encouraged the residents to enter commercial agriculture to create jobs and improve household incomes.
We said there are a number of steps each family needs to take. First step, stop producing for the stomach only, produce for the stomach and the pocket. And secondly, do so with the chivaro. And that's when we proposed the 4 acres model for people with smaller pieces of land.
Tomorrow, on Tuesday, Museveni moves to Kololo ceremonial grounds in Kampala for the final rally.
President Yoweri Museveni has rallied residents of Kasese district to take up commercial agriculture and tourism if they are to chase poverty out of their homesteads. He was campaigning in Busongora North constituency, Kasese district, where he called upon the citizens there to turn up in big numbers on the 15th of January and vote for the NRM.
Having campaigned in Kasese district on 4th December 2025, President Museveni has on Monday 12th January 2026 returned to the area. The one-day tour has seen President Museveni hold 2 campaign rallies in Kasese within Kaiga Primary School grounds in Mariba Sub-County of Busongola North County constituency, hosting the day's second campaign rally. To accompany the president once again in Kasese has been the NRM Vice Chairperson for Western Uganda, Engineer Jonada Simwe, flanked by Ministers Raphael Majezi, As Kaboyo and Martin Mugara.
On behalf of the elders, I'm putting this hand up, and God is seeing it, to bless you that Uganda, you are going to lead it. Take water, feel relaxed, don't allow stress. We are going to fight for you and ensure that you have bigger percentages, and we celebrate with you.
This is the last sub-country campaign rally of President Museveni ahead of this week's presidential and parliamentary elections.
First of all, thank you. I want to thank the elders and the population for blessing me.
The return of candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in Kasese district, particularly Busongola North County, is premised on its location, which denied them an opportunity to interact with the president during the December campaign rally.
Your Excellency, the people of Busongola North are so happy and appreciate your visionary leadership because the health sector of Busongola North has improved.
Local leaders, however, acknowledged the long-standing relationship between the government of Uganda and the Rwenzururu Kingdom.
Is the facilitation that you gave to our Musinga when he fell sick and you treated him in Turkey. We thank you so much.
So therefore, even before we went into the government, we advised all the homesteaders to get involved in wealth creation at the household level. So therefore, the economy of Kasese should be based on three sectors. Number one, commercial agriculture on a small scale mainly. Then the second one would be services, especially tourism.
The creation of Busongola district topped the local district's request to the president.
In 2016, Your Excellency, if you may recall, you promised us, the people of Busongola North, to have a district.
And we are creating other funds. Like in the parish, we shall add another 15 million for the leaders to borrow from. And we are going to also create a fund for university graduates. And for the cultural institutions like Obusinga, we are going to start also a fund for them. Nimbasaba Musajike NRM. NRM oye.
The Monday, 12th January 2026 presidential campaign trail of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni here in Kasese district makes it his last up-country address to the voters. He will be now retreating to Kampala on 13th January 2026 to address the last campaign trail of the presidential elections at Kololo Ceremonial Grounds. I'm Robert Onyango for UBC News here in Kasese district.
Various election observer organizations are in the country ahead of the 15th January general elections. The delegations were briefed by the Uganda Electoral Commission and are expected to carry out their mandate of monitoring and observing the electoral processes. Saddam Mobali reports that former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is heading the African Union Election Observation Mission.
Travels to areas of observation.
Different regional and international election observation bodies are already in the country. Among them, the former Nigerian President Jonathan Goodluck is heading the African Union Election Observation Mission. The Electoral Commission has engaged key stakeholders, including election observers, to ensure a peaceful, transparent and credible electoral process. The Electoral Commission emphasized professionalism, neutrality, and strict adherence to the electoral laws.
Maintain strict impartiality, independence, and professionalism. Respect the national laws and Electoral Commission procedures. Avoid interfering with the polling, counting, or tallying processes. Refrain from instructing polling officials all voters. Report observations accurately, objectively, and responsibly.
The Electoral Commission chairperson, Justice Simon Byabakama, explained the distinction between valid and invalid votes.
A vote is not invalid for reason on account of the mark not being placed in the prescribed area or space. If the voter puts the mark or the thumbprint on the picture of the candidate, or the symbol, or the name, the law says the intention of the voter can clearly be discerned that he or she intended to vote for this candidate. It's not invalid. So we have emphasized that point in our training programs, that the law provides as long as the intention of the voter can be understood or discerned, even though the mark is not placed in the right space or box, that is not an invalid box.
The Commission also explained the 20-meter rule around polling stations on the polling day.
Some of these polling stations, especially in Kampala or some urban areas, are in congested areas, squeezed areas, to the extent that even observing the 20-meter rule may not be realized.
I'm trying to advise him that let him take this to Parliament so that the Parliament can create a law which can say after voting.
You are right, I agree. But we are saying, in light of what we have experienced in the past, in light of the fact that we want a credible, peaceful, free process, do we say let's do business as usual?
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Abasi Byakagaba, reassured both observers and the general public that police are working closely with other security organs to ensure a peaceful election.
But above all, we are confident that the national security infrastructure will not fail to deliver a peaceful environment to the Ugandans.
With just 2 days remaining for more than 21.6 million Ugandan registered voters to choose their next president, the message of peace continues, with the state operators assuring Ugandans of their safety during and after the 2026 general elections. Sadam Mubale, UBC News.
Now, the National Unity Platform presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu has campaigned in Kampala Central Division, rallying the people to vote for change. The rally was at the Aga Khan grounds at Old Kampala.
NUP President Robert Kyagulanyi emphasized the country deserves a new beginning built on fairness, justice and improved service delivery. He promised that if elected president, his government would deliver modern roads, well-equipped hospitals with medicines and doctors and free education for all Ugandans. The NUP leader, also NUP flag bearer for the presidential election scheduled for Thursday, 15th January 2026, sustained campaigns in different parts of Kampala despite heavy rain. Kyagulanyi urged Kampala residents to vote for him as president and to support all NUP candidates at every level.
ng'akiikirira constituency esinga obukulu mu Uganda eya Kampala Central egatta abantu bonna quality ya David Lewis Rubongoya.
Several NUP leaders addressed the supporters during the rally.
People power. Kakati yogera nedowooza ery'omwanguka ogambe nti kati nze akalulu kange President Kyagulanyi Uganda empya mwe muli amasomero amalungi mu Uganda empya mwe muli ebyobusuubuzi ebirungi mu Uganda empya mwe muli amasomero amakubo.
Yasabye President ante ne mu Parliament zijentereza ekibuga ebizibu bya Kampala byonna kumpi byekwanaganya na engineering.
Kyagulanyi's wife, Babi Intungo Kyagulanyi, welcomed supporters amid dancing and singing.
Thank you very much for welcoming Opini with warm hearts. Thank you. To thank the people of Chisoro, people of Kabale, the people of Ankole, Tungamo, Echinare, Rowanyu, Echekabeta, Rukundo, Kakariaka,
UBC News tonight. Police have cautioned special police constables over misconduct during the election period. The constables were recruited to support law enforcement, but members of the public have raised concerns over their conduct during night operations.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police, also Police Chief Political Commissar Bamnoba Balido, has warned officers operating outside official procedures, particularly those working without uniform.
If they are misbehaving, that is very, very unfortunate. What we can do now is tighten up and ensure that we intensify supervision so that they don't act out of order. But in case there are those that are misbehaving, we take note, and please do not really hesitate to report them, because you are able to scan and report those specific SPCs whom you think are acting out of order.
Police recruited more than 1,000 special police constables countrywide to enhance security during the elections. However, the public has raised concern over misconduct and extortion allegedly during night.
And I hope we are not overhyping this and exaggerating it. But in case there are those who are misbehaving, kindly, we condemn all the indiscipline in the strongest terms possible. And so if these species are wreaking havoc, kindly report. But also we are going to intensify the supervision through the supervisors. We have officers who are supervising all these areas.
Security defend recruiting ghetto youths into election policing.
Is there any law which stops a ghetto person from being recruited as an SPC? Right? So, we recruited all over Uganda, and we are not selective. And as long as you are law-abiding, therefore, if you have seen them in uniform, it means they are duly recruited and they are executing the duty as it is mandated.
Police have reaffirmed their operations to decongest and secure polling stations.
Colleagues, we need to exercise restraint, we need to exercise maturity, common sense to say the space is not enough. I've performed my civic duty by casting my vote, so let me give space. Now you want to wait for security to come and guide you? Then they will guide you accordingly, as it is supposed to be, within the law.
Uganda Police, the prison services, and Uganda Police Defence Forces and other security agencies have established a joint coordination team to respond swiftly to any threats to public order during this election period. Abdul Nasir Lubwama and Rogers Komagum for you.
The Supreme Court has dismissed an application filed by a voter, Patrick Mukisa, who had sought orders to hold the forthcoming Thursday general elections, arguing that government failed to implement key electoral reforms. recommended by court following the 2016 presidential election petition. The application was dismissed on grounds that it was filed in the wrong court.
Patrick Mukisa filed the petition in December last year against the Electoral Commission, the Attorney General, and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Representing himself, Patrick Mukisa told the panel of 7 justices of the Supreme Court that the Electoral Commission should not conduct another general election before implementing electoral reforms, area recommended by the Supreme Court. During the hearing, lawyers representing the respondents asked the court to dismiss the petition, arguing that it was improper before the court. Court adjourned for 30 minutes. Later, the justices of the Supreme Court ruled that the court has no jurisdiction to entertain pre-election matters, noting its mandate is limited to handling appeals arising from presidential election petitions.
Petition filed by a candidate, the Supreme Court has original jurisdiction and final jurisdiction in the matter. If the matter is anything else, including a pre-election dispute filed by a voter, the Supreme Court can only hear it in the exercise of any prescribed appellate jurisdiction, if any. The applicant's application is not a pre-election matter, and the Supreme Court enjoys appellate jurisdiction. The applicant's application is dismissed with no order as to cause.
The court further faulted Patrick Mukasa for instituting proceedings against the sitting president, which is prohibited under the law.
The third respondent is a sitting president of the Republic of Uganda who enjoys presidential immunity in office under the Constitution.
Consequently, the application was struck off the court record.
There is, however, a constitutional command to hold elections. It follows that a court order barring the election would essentially order the Electoral Commission to violate Article 61, Clause 2. Courts generally have no jurisdiction to issue injunctions that compel the violation of the Constitution.
The Attorney General Chiriowa Kiwanuka, however, dismissed claims that his officers failed to implement the court's earlier recommendations.
Obviously, there are recommendations from the Supreme Court, and the government then goes and looks at them and implements them in accordance with the legal framework that exists at the time, and that was done. In fact, in 2019, they came back to court at the time to report on it, and it was done. In 2021, we had an election, and as you may remember, there was an election petition in 2021. The court did not at any point raise that the recommendations that were given then had not been complied. Everything was complied with.
Attorney General, there was an issue of really, it wasn't worth it. It was an illegality itself, because you would have violated and taken away the little we had constitutionally as Ugandans. That means that the democracy we have been yearning for, the democracy we have been talking about, doesn't exist.
In the 2026 presidential election petition filed by John Patrick Amama Mbabas, the Supreme Court justices issued several recommendations, including anchoring the use of technology in elections in law to ensure transparency and accountability, enacting legislation to guarantee equal access to state-owned media by all presidential candidates during campaigns. Among other recommendations, Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nance Subuga, UBC News.
The Uganda Law Society has rolled out an electoral watch and rapid response mechanism to monitor a free and fair election. Over 600 members of the Uganda Law Society will be deployed across the country as election observers. The society has also established legal aid response teams in different regions to provide immediate legal assistance to Ugandans who may require help during the election period. During a press conference held at the Society's headquarters in Kampala, the Society has also urged Ugandans to remain peaceful and avoid violence before, during, or even after elections.
And the enjoyment of fundamental rights and freedoms, including freedom of assembly, freedom of expression, personal liberty, and access to justice a standardized reporting template has been rolled out to enable advocates stationed at their respective locations, even where they will vote from, to systematically observe electoral processes, document incidents, and submit real-time data on human rights violations, electoral malpractices, and abuse of power. The incident reports generated through this process will provide a credible evidential basis for timely legal intervention, including securing remedies for victims and engaging relevant authorities where violations occur, ULA documentation and legal response. The Radical New Bar has constituted a rapid response team has been established and will operate throughout the electoral period. Members of the public are therefore encouraged to contact this toll-free in line of, if someone has to request for urgent legal assistance, report incidents of human rights violations, including arbitrary arrests and safety.
Mr. President.
Now, the Electoral Commission has been urged to intensify voter education in the remaining days in order to reduce invalid votes. This appeal was made by Esther Najembe, one of the elders from the NRM party, in an exclusive interview as the country heads for 2026 elections.
With only 2 days left to polling day for presidential and parliamentary elections, NRM party elders have called upon the Electoral Commission to conduct voter education on voting procedures. Esther Najemba, a senior citizen, claims the commission has not yet done enough.
But for Electoral Commission, I don't know, but I've never seen them. And I've been in Kampala. I just see them on media also, talking about elections, but to come down on the ground, sensitizing people. Maybe there's some people who are supposed to be taught to that. But for the general public, myself, I haven't seen.
She encouraged people to vote and urged them to turn up in big numbers on Thursday, the 15th of January 2026, to vote.
Let us wake up very early in the morning, we go and vote President Museveni. Secondly, when you are ticking, please, even if you love Museveni more than 100 times, tick it carefully. Even if you are using your thumb, please let the thumb remain in the box. Let the tick remain in the box.
She also called upon the youth to maintain peace and not to listen to those who mislead them into causing chaos.
The last rally of President Museveni is on 13th. All of us, let us go to Kololo. We saw President Museveni, the love we have been showing him in his campaign.
Recently, when President Museveni campaigned in Lubaga, some residents complained about the implementation of the PDM program. Many people have benefited from the program.
I can talk about my parish. My parish has 310 millions. And that 310 millions were taken by members. And the registered members are 900. It means 600 are still pending.
This comes at a time when presidential and parliamentary candidates have only 1 day left for campaigns. Andrew Sebira compiled the story.
Her name is Esther Najemba, not Najembe, just for correction purposes. Now, tension is building up in Lira City following reports of voter bribery and violent clashes linked to ongoing political campaigns. 8 people were arrested to Lira Region Referral Hospital. 8 people were admitted to the hospital after they were reportedly attacked yesterday.
The 8 people who were cut last night also include a mother and a little girl whose jawbone was even shattered.
The Lira City Woman MP candidate and Minister of Health, Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng, has condemned the act of violence allegedly targeting her supporters. Dr. Acheng claims the attack was carried out by individuals believed to be aligned with her political opponent.
And I want to appeal to my opponent to choose peace. Violence is not a solution.
She described the incident as a threat to free and fair elections.
With the one of distributing Kitenge materials last night, and in the videos that we have, that it was Otakalele who mobilized them and said they should go and start inflicting violence. So we know where they are coming from, and we have reported to the police.
She criticized some officers in the Uganda Police Force in Lira City East for failing to act independently. Dr. Cheng questioned the release of suspects allegedly found distributing kitenge fabrics, which she believes amounted to voter bribery.
After arresting the people who were distributing the voter bribery materials, the kitenge materials, released them.
Dr. Cheng has advised her supporters in the ruling NRM party to temporarily avoid wearing yellow party attire, warning that the people dressed in yellow are being targeted.
They are trying to cause confusion to make it look like it is the NRM beating themselves.
North Kyoga Regional Police spokesperson Jimmy Patrick Okema confirmed that the campaign items were confiscated and are in police custody.
But of course, in the process, there were some scuffles where even our officers were injured.
He also acknowledged that the police have received reports concerning the 8 injured individuals.
And they're receiving treatment at Lira Regional Referral Hospital. As police, we would like to come out very strongly and condemn act of violence.
He noted that similar incidents have been reported in Amolatar, Apache and Erute North. Okema warned the public against spreading false information, including claims that candidate Beta Mongi had been arrested, saying the statements were issued by people impersonating police officers.
This with interest to either cause fear, with lies and propaganda. So as security, we have also interested ourselves into understanding who the source of this information is.
Efforts to get a comment from UPC's publicist in Lira City were futile. Ediulwa, UBC News.
Ediulwa with an ugly story from Lira there. And we pray that we get a normal situation as we head to the Thursday elections. Thank you so much for watching. Let's take a short break.
My fellow Ugandan, this is Jaja Yoweri Kaguta Museveni speaking. For many years, together we have built peace, stability, and progress. In the coming term, Kisanja, we are determined to continue implementing free education for our children in government schools, primary, secondary, and tertiary. I request your support together to secure this free education for the future of our Bazukuru and a prosperous Uganda for generations to come. This is Jaja Museveni, old man with a heart, with gratitude and commitment to you.
The program has met our expectations in that it has been able to give us business.
They gave us a contract where we did a renovation at their head office. MTN trained us in their procurement process and also the IT technology.
I was struggling with managing the finances of the company. So when I went for that training, I was able to improve in financial literacy and management.
Are you a female entrepreneur looking to do business with MTN? Log on to www.mtn.co.ug/AWE. Together, our progress is unstoppable.
Kabogozi, where are you coming from?
From NSSF.
NSSF? You traveled all the way from Namavundi to get NSSF services. Lekanawe. NSSF is now everywhere. Come on, I show you. Pakabanda, you can register for NSSF. How come you pretend you see my life? Never deep down in the Marara. Make NSSF payments. No hala okubeka langala. NSSF sure is not far. But tomorrow kuhika gotido. Enjoy NSSF from where you are.
Access NSSF services right where you live. With over 20,000 quick teller agents across Uganda, now you can conveniently register yourself, make NSSF payments and contributions to your Smart Life account to Ubeda. NSSF, a better life.
Starting with 100,000 shillings, you begin building real financial strength, because wealth doesn't just happen, you build it. And the ones who start early end up ahead. Every deposit, every month, every little increase. This is how your money grows into wealth. Put your money to work with the experts at SBG Securities. Partner with us today on your investment journey.
SBG Securities. Keep growing for you, for them, forever.
My fellow Ugandan, this is Jaja Yoweri Kaguta Museveni speaking. For many years together, we have built peace, stability, and progress. These are the gains that have transformed our country and improved the lives of millions. As we move towards a qualitative leap to a middle-income country, let us continue protecting these gains by working hard, supporting our families, increasing the PDM funds from 100 million to 200 million per parish, and promoting peace in our communities. Uganda's success depends on each of us doing our part with integrity, discipline, and patriotism. Together, we shall secure our future and build a prosperous Uganda for generations to come. This is Jaja Museveni, old man with a heart, with gratitude and commitment to you.
The NRM National Vice Chairperson Kampala, Salim Uhuru, has called upon the people of Kampala to turn up in big numbers as they welcome the party chairman and candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ahead of his final rally on the 13th of January, which is tomorrow at Kololo Independence Ground. Uhuru was addressing the media at the party offices at Plot 13 Chadondo Road.
The NRM National Vice Chairperson, Kampala Central, Salim Uhuru, cites an opportunity presented to the people of Kampala to address all their challenges and what to be accomplished by the NRM in the next term.
Is tomorrow. I call upon all peace-loving Ugandans, I call all the NRM fraternity, please come in big numbers. We must maintain the numbers of turn-up in other divisions, other districts, because some people are saying it's AI. My appeal to all my fellow Ugandans, countrymen, especially the business community or the biggest large taxpayers who are always in bungalows and don't have time to come and vote. This is the time. You must come out and vote. Do not be in your comfort zone at home and say that the president has already won. I want to see numbers of people coming to vote for His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and the turn-up should be more than as usual.
I appeal to all Ugandans. I appeal to people of Makindye, of every parish, of every village, and the nearby districts to come and welcome our dear president.
Meanwhile, over 200 leaders in Luka district have defected from the National Unity Platform to NRM, pledging support for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The leaders officially crossed during an NRM mobilization drive by the NRM Chief of Protocol for Luka District, Don Vincent Bwana. Bwana reminded the leaders that many political parties in Uganda exist because of the political stability ushered in by the NRM government. He urged residents to support NRM.
But NRM thinks about everyone. It's a multi-party system. NRM is a master of democracy. That's why we allow those political parties to come and we rally together, look for the vote, campaign, and look for the best, and the winner will take it. But
Don Vincent Bwana was confident that through sustained grassroots mobilization, Luka district will deliver votes for President Museveni.
So if I can get all the 15,000 votes of the sub-county to myself as a candidate in the primaries, while the president getting the 100%, but the 80% is the least I can settle off for the NRM and for the president.
Jona atuwaire idembe yakuma bintu byaife era tuteekwa okwongera okubanga tumugagira ayongera okubanga tutembeta kubanga tuwaire PDM.
Lydia Chomkama and Joseph Muyingo, UBC News.
The race for parliamentary candidates has intensified, with voter mobilization taking up candidates and mobilizers' efforts. Kira Municipality MP, NRM flag bearer Daniel Kananura, together with Wakiso District Woman MP, engaged voters rallying for votes at Chirinya Bukasa, Kira Municipality, Wakiso District.
obulungi mu gavumenti eno olina okuba n'omubaka nga wa gavumenti eno nga w'ekibiina ekikkiririza mu gavumenti eno era nga mbakakasa nga ku mulundi guno nga NRM mumaze gitukwasa nga Wakiso district maze giza mikono gya NRM obuweereza bwonna mugenda bufuna mu bujjuvu. Ebyenkulaakulana tugenda kubibatuusaako, tugenda kulondoola puroguramu za gavumenti zonna okakasa nga muganyirwamu nga bannakira municipality ate era nga bana Wakiso district. Ab'emikono basaba ne bannyabo twetuga nsaba ku mulundi guno mukkirize NRM mujiddiza obuvunaanyizibwa bwa Wakiso district.
Tewali muntu n'omu n'obwana kutulya kulimba nti agenda kutaasa Munamataba nga tali under NRM. Ajja kujja kugamba Ezinneggulu naye Namataba, Bukasa, Kitopi mwetaaga omukulembeze nga wa NRM. Mwetaaga omukulembeze nga Kananula, mwetaaga omukulembeze nga Kayesu n'abalala. Nsaba Namataba wano nga bwe mwanjagala ne munzaala ne munfuula omwana wammwe ne munkwasa fulaga mu maanyi ag'ekitalo ennaku z'omwezi nga 15 waggulu ku Ekereziya muteekewo embeera akalulu nga 295 nze ne Museveni n'abalala.
Ensuring peace among Ugandans and across the country has taken center stage as religious leaders have had dedication prayers for President Yoweri Museveni ahead of the January 15th elections. The leaders say that unlike some neighboring countries, Uganda must uphold peaceful elections to safeguard national stabilities. The prayers were at Chitemi Primary School playgrounds in Rubaga Division.
With only 3 days left to the January 15, 2016 elections, religious leaders and NRM supporters have converged to officially launch a week of national dedication prayer for the NRM presidential candidate.
Tukusaba Katonda obuyinza bwe omukulembeze waffe oberenga omukwatirako asobole okukuuma abantu bo.
The president's special envoy Buganda region, Engineer Joseph Mukasa Sewava, and other Buganda leaders launched a national dedication prayer week for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni.
We dedicated prayers to our president, basically our candidate, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni and Mama. We decided that this week we start with the prayers as we are going for a week of elections. We started with the prayers. We have seen God doing miracles. I was moving, we traversed the whole country campaigning for the president. We have seen the president in rain at all levels, at all seasons. And we have seen God making wonders and miracles.
Sewava also urged the youth to respect security agencies during the election period.
First of all, they should not provoke security. Let us all go and vote. After voting, we leave the polling stations. We trust each candidate is going to have an agent.
Peace and unity were repeatedly emphasized as the cornerstone of the dedication prayers.
May what we do aim at promoting justice and peace in Uganda. We pray for the Electoral Commission to carry out its task with integrity, fairness, and truth. May the candidates be humble and respectful to people as they solicit votes.
Era bannaddiini bonna batukubiriza kusaba kumakya omuntu n'asaba Katonda amukuume, amuwe ekyokulya, amukuume gy'alaga, akuume abantu be. Kati nabwe kityo eggwanga lyaffe lino tewali ayinza kwagala litabanguke.
Religious leaders noted that President Museveni has made significant achievements in the country's social and economic transformation to justify another term in office. Rebecca Natongo, Dan Lugemwa for ABC News.
Busoga Past Leaders Association has announced their decision to rally behind President Museveni, saying the move is aimed at attracting more government support to the sub-region of Busoga.
I say past leaders, I mean those local leaders who participated in LOC 1 up to LOC 5 since 1986 up to date.
Speaking to the press, the chairman of the association, Charles Chiwanuka, revealed that former leaders across all districts in Busoga have resolved to mobilize support for the ruling National Resistance Movement ahead of the forthcoming general elections. Chiwanuka said the decision was reached after consultations among members, noting that unity and cooperation with the current leadership would help address the region's development challenges.
Let these past leaders who have been in the leadership since 1986, although now they are retired, to be recognized as an association, and they should also get benefit from every program of government. So Honorable Bajire and JJ Wakarikwira helped us to see the president. So he told us to go and mobilize all the past leaders in Busoga sub-region.
The Busoga Past Leaders Association comprises more than 7,000 identified members spread across all districts in the Busoga sub-region.
He requested us look for votes, and indeed people have turned up, especially those ones who were once former leaders. We've gathered here, and the people are very much grateful.
After this vote, we are going to come back together and grow our cooperative that has been formed and registered. I'm really praying that as they go back, we shall bring success for our president.
And we shall support him and mobilize people for his elections.
We are grateful. We promise that we are going to do our work. We promise that we are going to support NRM.
We want the president.
Shema municipality leaders have commended Uganda People's Defense Forces for extending projects that help the community. This was during the official launch of the Quick Impact Project to improve on sanitation of the people in Kabohe Town, Shema municipality.
It is a rare opportunity for the army, the armed forces especially, who are usually at war, go back home and think about the people, especially in those areas that are supposed to be developing them. Here, Shema Municipal Council plans to put a lorry park. You cannot bring people here and they bring lorries and bring food when they have no sanitary facilities. Building this toilet would have taken a lot of money and we didn't have it. So for the UPDF, for our brothers, for our uncles, for our fathers to think about quick impact in their communities, and General Jesse comes and Colonel Temple comes and Major David come here to represent the CDF and do a project within Shema is a rare find.
And all districts got provision for such a quick impact project. So it's not unique to Shema, it is for the whole country.
Of course, but we shall keep telling them that this is a project for the community that was put up by UPDF. So, it's a challenge.
The Electoral Commission bought 109,142 biometric voter verification kits which were delivered into the country. Mock trials were conducted for journalists, candidates, members of parliament and voters. UBC explores the legal framework behind its usage and how it will work on the polling day.
As voters come for polls this Thursday, the 15th of January 2026, the use of biometric voter verification kit is going to be mandatory for enhancing transparency in this election. Its performance could define public trust in the election process, especially amid ongoing debates on electoral reforms. UBC spoke to the Electoral Commission on the legality behind the biometric kit's adoption in the general election. The presidential election petition number 1 of 2016 required you to influence a major reform in the usage of technology in the subsequent elections. And
thank you very much. The use of biometric voter verification kits to verify every voter that turns up to vote during these general elections, starting with the presidential and parliamentary elections on Thursday, the 15th of January 2026, is anchored in the statutory instrument that was signed into law by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Honorable Norbert Mao, which mandates, empowers, and requires mandatorily the Electoral Commission to use biometric voter verification as a mechanism for verifying every voter and also for verifying every ballot paper that will be used during these elections.
Biometric verification was first introduced in Uganda's 2016 elections, but often failed, forcing reliance on manual processes. The
Hello, my Muzukuru. This is Jaja Yoweri Kaguta Museveni speaking. In our NRM Manifesto 2026-2031, we are focusing on empowering you to create, innovate, and succeed. Those who spend 2 years without getting a job after graduating from university will receive money from a fund in startup capital to begin a business or innovation. We shall also increase the PDM funds from 100 million to 100 million per parish. We are also making internet more affordable so your ideas and enterprise can grow faster. My message to you, stay focused, peaceful, and use these opportunities to build your future and support others. Together, let us protect the gains and move Uganda into a high middle-income status country. This is Jaja Museveni for the Muzukuru with love.
Blue Christmas is near. Spread the festive cheer all December with great deals right here. Shop online with Market by Momo. We deliver. Log on to market.momo.africa. Use the MyMTN app or the new Momo app to register and shop online. Market by Momo is from MTN and powered by MasterCard.
This is our home, our land, our Uganda. From the rolling hills to the busy streets, from the farmers in the fields to the students in classrooms, we are one people. Elections are a time to choose our leaders, not to fight our brothers and sisters. When violence enters the ballot box, the future of our country is wounded. But when peace leads the way, our nation grows stronger. On election day, choose unity over diversion, respect over hatred, and dialogue over destruction. Love your country, protect your fellow citizens, stand for peace, and say no to electoral violence. This message is brought to you by the Global Election Observation Mission, GEOM, in partnership with the Uganda Electoral Commission. Informed citizens, strong nation.
Unisteel Investment Uganda Limited, shaping the future of steel in East Africa and beyond. With an investment of over $100 million and a production capacity of 300,000 metric tons per annum, Unisteel is setting new standards in steel manufacturing. At our state-of-art facility, we produce TMX rebars, branded Unis TMX 500 CWR, and high-quality wire rods using only imported virgin steel billets. Every batch is tested and tracked for unmatched quality assurance. Our steel powers the region's most ambitious projects, from dams, skyscrapers, to bridges and beyond. Unisteel, superior quality, trustworthy choice.
Starting with 100,000 shillings, you begin building real financial strength. Because wealth doesn't just happen, you build it. And the ones who start early end up ahead. Every deposit, every month, every little increase. This is how your money grows into wealth. Put your money to work with the experts at SBG Securities. Partner with us today on your investment journey.
SBG Securities. Keep growing for you, for them, forever.
Uganda's ambassador to Tanzania, retired Colonel Fred Mwesigye, has assured Ugandans about peace and stability after elections. He says the security will deal with any individual who destabilizes peace.
Retired Colonel Fred Mwesigye, the ambassador of Uganda in Tanzania, has revealed that some of the opposition figures were persuading the youth to engage in violence. He says police and other security agencies are allowed to deal with anyone trying to destabilize peace in Uganda. Colonel Mwesigye adds that Ugandans have seen what President Yoweri Museveni and the NRM has done for them, like in the health sector, infrastructure, PDM, Emyoga, and education, which has attracted their attention to vote for President Museveni.
In Isaiah chapter 9, from verse 2, it says, a child will be born. President Museveni was born for Uganda, was born into Uganda, and the country was that in trouble, was going under the shadow of death. People were being killed, women were being raped, there was no peace. But when he came to the scene of Uganda as a leader, he brought peace and stability.
He was flanked by his wife Enid Mwesigye, who appreciates the aforementioned action that the NRM government ensured that the women take positions of leadership in the country.
I'm so proud as a leader, and I'm so happy. And I really thank God for our dear president for supporting us and empowering us as women.
Now, there is a call that was made by the Executive Director, Uganda Media Women's Association, Margaret Sentamu, to government to put in place clear media laws that protect journalists. This was during a training for journalists as we move towards elections.
Of the Uganda Media Women's Association says the report reveals troubling experiences faced by female journalists.
So we have come up with what is called half the population, half the media. Our mission for 2026 to 2031 and also beyond. And we have managed to come up with about 9 thematic areas in a document which we want to share with the powers that be in this country of ours.
Women are largely not even the subject matter. They are always the second fiddle. Then there are so many stereotypes about women. And UMWA has said we are also going to produce a report on the election and how women have been reported about in the election.
Uganda Women Media Association has therefore called upon the government to enact and enforce laws that regulate the media.
So government as an entity on its own promised to ensure that women's voices are propped up or encouraged in media spaces. They are
President Yoweri Museveni has fulfilled his pledge of 50 million Uganda shillings to empower water vendors in Palisa district under their savings and credit cooperative organization. We have the details.
President alikwenda kubanga imwa meeting ekamuge yakwati I'm going to support your SACCO as a representative of the president to hand over this money to the chairman of the SACCO.
I'm so glad to see that President Museveni has at least helped us, to guide us, to support us, people who have transported water.
President is only supporting their SACCO to make sure that they have some incomes which can support their daily income.
Era mukuru ngo watutusiza ku birungi nga bino bye tutalabangako mu government endala esente ezo tugenda kuzigula mwente
isanyukire ino awe likaguta Museveni otuwe sente gino inti nafunamu ekya mugaso kuba mvugira maizi ganu nimbyaire mabana bona bali mu majje nenga bona bavuganga maizi.
As you are aware, when the president promised, he always fulfills. I've already handed over this money to them and they are very, very happy.
We thank you so much for watching. That brings us to the end of all we had for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching once again. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Yusuf Senyomo and the whole team. Wish you the best of the week. Bye-bye.